Hey everyone, welcome to Venzzini's game. Playing here on YouTube for you. I recently moved from the Vanniverse Gaming channel, so this is my own channel. I think I'm up to 12 subscribers compared to Vanniverse Gaming, which we helped build 10k subscribers. I wanted to break out on my own, and Venzzini's game is Elder Scrolls Online right now. Love the MMOs. Here's my latest Stamsorc Werewolf build for Wolfhunter. Okay, as you can see right now, I have the My Build add-on right up in here, and it shows you all the stats and everything. Now I'm sitting in my Cold Arbor house here, but my stamina is 35.5k, almost 21k health, and almost 12k magicka and CP. Obviously, once you get into PvP with the Battle Spirit buff, your hit points are going to go up to about 25k, which is where you want to be. Weapon damage is 2,841. I'm running two-hander and dual wield, and this is a werewolf build. So my weapon damage is 2,841, and my stamina goes up on my this build here, and we'll go into it because it is a two-handed sword of agility. So okay, it's a 5 heavy, 1 light, 1 medium build. This build is similar to the one that all casts, I believe, recommended, but has a couple of my own little twists to it. I didn't copy his build. I had this build before. It seemed to go very well with the Stamsorc, and I'll tell you why here in a second. But I'm running a Pirate Skeleton 2-piece, Green Pact 5-piece, all body, all heavy, Prisoner's Jewelry, back barring Prisoner's Dual Wield, two axes of Prisoner's Axes, and front barring Great Sword of Agility. So you get that extra damage when you're not in Werewolf. Alright, we're going to go look into this further, but I'm running the Steed for that extra speed. Now, coming here in Murkmire, they're changing the speed if you've keeping up with the PTS patch notes. The Steed currently gives you 5% increased speed. It's going to now give you 10%, but they're reducing Swift Jewelry speed, which is part of my build here. So honestly, the trade-off does not affect this build for what I have. And then I'm also running a certain food. You need to run food with this build, and I'll tell you why. And I'm running a different food than a lot of people probably run for some extra stamina regen. So let's just take a look into the build. We're going to close the My Build app here. If you wanted to pause it on that, go ahead. That way you can just look at everything. That's why I use it. We're going to look at the gear here. Pirate Skeleton Light, Pirate Skeleton Medium. I would like to go a medium helmet instead and a light shoulders, which I could, but I'm using it on another character, and I don't want to switch the glyphs up on it. So that's your medium, and your light piece is your monster helm set, and you could switch this out for Troll King. I don't find it as effective, but you can switch it out for Troll King, you can switch it out for Bloodspawn, you could switch it out for something damaging if you feel like you want a little damage and not be so tanky. Pirate Skeleton goes off a lot, and while you're in Werewolf, taking 30% less damage. Yes, your health recovery goes down, but that's why you're building for a little higher health recovery in this build. And your healing goes down, self-healing, but it's really not that big of a deal compared to the 30% defenses, plus the physical and spell resistance you're getting from the one piece from it is very high. Okay, so like I said, it's 5-piece, heavy, Green Pact. And we're going to call this build, as in the title, the Prisoner's Pact. I like to take the two sets of gear I use and make a name out of it, just so people kind of know what I might be running by the title. All my glyphs are impenetrable with exception of infused Green Pact right here, my legs, but the rest is impenetrable. And I'm running Tri-Stat on the big pieces, except for the helmet. I have stamina, shoulders magicka, hands stamina, feet stamina, and the belt is Tri-Stat. Now I'm probably going to go ahead and go all Tri-Stat on this to get a little more hit points. It will drop my stamina a bit, but I think it's going to be worth it. But for now, this build is working out very well the way it is. All jewelry. Now my jewelry has stamina recovery glyph, weapon damage glyph, and another weapon damage glyph. But the traits on the jewelry are swift, and infused. Now right now my Swift is 9% at purple, it will go up to 10% at gold, but that's going to be reduced to 5% purple come next patch according to the patch notes as they're being tested. Now it's not final, but they're going to be reducing Swift's increases. Okay, as you can see, my stamina goes up to about 32.5k when in orc form here on the front bar, and it drops a bit, but my weapon damage goes up a little more when on the back bar there. Okay, so that's pretty much where we're at. Let's go take a look at the skills now. Pardon me, let's take a look at the skills. And we'll go over the concept for the build. The first thing we're going to do is look at, pardon me, the orc passives, because they go so well with this build. And orc passives are just perfect for werewolf. And that's why you see so many Stamsorc werewolves around, because it just meshes so well with all the passives of Stork and werewolf and orc. So don't worry about craftsman, although, you know, if you're leveling up, you know, and you're going to run heavy like I do in this build, you're going to gain extra armor skill line by 15%, so that's nice. Increase your max health and max stamina by 6%. That is awesome. It's all about the health and stamina on this build. We also have Unflinching, increases your healing received by 5%, your health recovery by 20%. Well, I'm gaining health recovery from the Steed Mundus, health recovery from the Green Pact, and increased self-healing by 5% is always good. Increases your damage done with melee attacks, awesome for werewolf, awesome for stamina, and reduces the cost of sprint by 12%, and increased movement speed bonus of sprint by 10%, which is also awesome because you're running prisoners, and when you sprint, you're getting magicka, plus prisoners is 50% off your cost of sprint. So now you're actually at 62%. So it meshes perfect with the passes of your 5 pieces on this build. And we'll look at the 5-piece bonus of Green Pact. It's giving you 2 health and 1 health recovery. While you have a food buff active, your max health is increased by about 2,500 and recovery by about 250. That's if I gold it out. I need to gold this out, and I am going to. The Prisoners 5-piece, which you are back barring, so you know you're not going to get the 5-piece till you switch to your 2 axes on the back. But reduces the cost of sprint by 50%, and while sprinting, restore almost 1,000 magicka every 1 second. So that is going to be your magicka regen you're going to need while in Werewolf for healing, and also to swap back and forth resources with your Dark Deal, which we'll go over right now. Okay, so we're now going to look at the stamina passives, and Stamsorc passives, well, Sorc passives, period. And we're going to show you why that meshes up so well. First of all, Unholy Knowledge reduces the magicka and stamina costs of all your abilities by 5%. Who doesn't want that? I mean, you're going to reduce your cost of your werewolf heal, reduce the cost of anything magicka you're using. Don't worry about blood magic so much. After this, after blocking attack, your next magicka or stamina ability costs 15% less. Again, there's nothing wrong with extra resources you're going to gain any way you can, and these passives mesh up really well with both Werewolf and Stamsorc. Don't really worry about exploitation on this build too much. It's basically a group thing. I'm just kind of going over the stuff that helps your Werewolf build. Okay, don't worry about rebate, that's why I don't have anything in it, but Power Stone reduces the cost of your ultimate abilities by 15%, so automatically, inherently, to get into Werewolf, it's 15% less ultimate cost, which is, again, meshes very well. Increase your health and stamina recovery by 20% while you have a Davidric ability slotted. Okay, if you're running outside of Werewolf and you want, you know, to use something that does that for you. Summoner I really don't have because I don't summon any pets. So on this build I don't even put points into it. Alright, Storm Calling. Increases your magicka recovery by 10%. Friggin' awesome. Again, great for Werewolf, great for that extra resource gain. Increase your physical and shock damage by 5%. This is also good. Obviously, stamina, weapon damage is all physical, and Werewolf damage is all physical, so that's great. Plus, if you slot 1 enchantment of shock on one of your weapons, which you would need for implosion, which is great. If you have a shock enchantment on there, you do have a very slim chance of blowing somebody up, even in Werewolf form. So, you know, again, shock damage would be helpful. So you would use a glyph of shock, which I'm not right now, and I'm planning on putting on one of my weapons. Increases your weapon and spell damage by 2% for each sorcerer ability slotted. Great if you're going to, you know, slot sorcerer abilities, you know, so it's going to give you a little bit extra weapon power and spell power. So again, everything just meshes so well with the Stamsorc Werewolf. I just wanted to go over it. All right, let's just take a look back at my gear and my jewelry. We went over my traits, which is Infused, Swift, and Swift, and the weapons is Defending and Nerdhone. I need to gold out my second Prisoner's Axe, therefore we can, you know, get a little more damage out of that with it being gold. It is Defending. I have Oblivion on it. I want to change that to shock damage, and I want to put Oblivion on my agility here, but I just haven't done it yet, and we're going to charge this real quick now that I see it's low. Just haven't done that real quick, which I'm going to do. So that would be my suggestion. Let's take a look at our defenses here with this. So I got my defensive one weapon with the Pirate Skeleton helmets, and inherently I'm about 19k of each spell resistance here, physical and spell. Let's take a look at the Werewolf Passives and see why that's good. Now this was broken. I unshelved this build because Werewolf was broken up until a couple patches ago, you know, updates ago, when they fixed it finally after Wolfhunter, but they broke it during Wolfhunter. If we go to Werewolf here, we're going to go to the passives here. Pursuit, increase your movement speed by 30%, increase your stamina of your heavy attacks restored by 100%. So those heavy attacks in Werewolf are very important with this build. That's what's going to keep your stamina up, and the damage will be higher if you run certain abilities on your bar, which we will go over. But your speed, again, this is all about speed, and, you know, in Werewolf form, I'm very, very fast. You can get behind people, around people. Landing light attacks seems to be a little wonky. Landing heavy attacks a little wonky. You got to practice to try to figure out where the best spot is on people. Sometimes it's harder said than done, or easier said than done. It's actually harder than you'd think. Blood Rage. When you transform, during duration, Werewolf transform is increased by 4 seconds. When you deal damage. Now this was a big hit on Werewolf PvP. Great for PvE, but Werewolf PvP. So if you're getting focused by 3 guys, all you're doing is running around trying to stay alive till you can find your opening. That whole time, your thing's ticking down. So this was a big hit to stay in Werewolf, especially as a solo player, and this is my solo build. You can do, if you have a healer, it just makes it immensely better, but it's able to go in and compete without, you know, any pre-made or healer or pocket healer. So don't worry about Blood Moon. That's your bite. Increases your weapon damage by 18% when you're in Werewolf form. That was normal. They just took that off normal Werewolf and put it in the passives. Increases your spell and physical resistance by 10,000, which put me about 30k each on my resistances. This was broken. Now it's not. That's why I've unshelved this. Now it actually works. When you turn Werewolf, you're gaining that 10k each. Call of the Pack. Again, you know, more werewolves the better. You don't have to worry about your timer as much. Okay, so that goes with that. Let's go over my skills on my werewolf bar here. Then we'll go over my skills on my Stamsorc and Orc form. I'm running Claws of Anguish for the debuff and damage over time. The Major Defile for 4 seconds is really great. Great for group utility and taking somebody down. And you need that because this damage is not real bursty, it's more sustained. Crush an enemy with a Deafening Howl, dealing about 12k physical damage, deals 30% more when the enemies are feared. So basically your fear, which is your only CC now, you're going to do more damage with that Howl. Feral Pounce, pounce an enemy, dealing 6,300 physical damage. Pouncing from at least 10 meters away adds 4 seconds to the duration of your werewolf. I mean, this is almost a must as a solo werewolf, and now the change, like I said, to having to deal damage to keep your werewolf timer going, I do not see, unless you're running in a full werewolf group, I do not see using the other morph other than Feral Pounce. Ferocious Roar. Roar with Bloodlust to terrify up to 6 enemies, fearing them for 3.3 seconds and setting them off balance for 5, which is great. Because even if they break, they're off balance. Your heavy attacks deal more damage with off balance and restore more resources. Perfect for resource gain on your stamina end of your build here. Hercian's Range heals you for 50% just about of your max health and grants you Major Brutality. You need the major brutality on this in werewolf form because you are much tankier. You're not built for high-end damage, so anything is better than nothing. Plus, you have a little bit higher hit points. The 50% heal is just fine. And in Werewolf Berserker, while transformed, light attack supply bleeds over 8 seconds. Your heavy attacks deal 50% splash damage, and your max damage is increased by 30%. So while slotted, your stamina recovery is increased by 15%. This increases just your damage overall. I know some of the werewolves that run the 2 pets are nice. They did fix the pets, and it is kind of nice to run once in a while. They get in the way of a lot of damage and things, but I prefer the single target damage and dot damage for this. Okay, now let's go over my Stamsorc skill bar. And on my dual wield bar, I'm running all my defenses. Hurricane for major or minor expedition and some damage. It also increases your physical and spell resistance. So I think they're reducing all the major and minor expedition stuff next patch. They've really hit the hammer on speed, but still, I think I'm still going to hit the max speed with this build, especially in werewolf and sprinting. So quick cloak again. They're going to nerf the speed on this, but this is your major expedition for 5 seconds. It'll be 4 seconds according to the PTS as of right now. Ball lightning. This is basically my defensive getaway. This is just so I can go. Now what's great is you can spam this and then sprint to gain your magicka back with prisoners. And I want to eat up those long distance people that are trying to keep the damage on me as I'm running. So ball lightning is what I use it for. Resolving Vigor is pretty much standard in any PvP build for your sustained heals. And Dark Deal. Now what you use Dark Deal for is you're going to bargain and take, it restores health and stamina, but uses 3,000 magicka. Well, with prisoners, you're constantly sprinting, so you just stop, you just sprint back and forth, get your magicka up, Dark Deal, get your magicka up, Dark Deal. It's pretty much swapping resources when you need them. And that's about it for that. And I have my Werewolf ultimate on my dual wield bar. On my two-handed bar, I have Reverse Slice for that execute, Dizzying Swing is my spammable stun, and big damage hit, Stampede for that gap closer, Rally for the heal and heal over time, Carve for the extra dot damage, and increased minor heroism to get that ultimate up faster when I do lose werewolf form. And then Onslaught. The reason I use Onslaught is a big, nice hit, ignores all resistances, and if you kill someone with it, the 120 ultimate that it takes to use, you gain back. Meaning that if you are building, you just lost werewolf and you're building up your ultimate again. If you can get a kill on somebody with this, that 120 ultimate's going to come back to you, and you still won't have that much time, till you need to get into more ultimate to get in werewolf. So I don't use it often unless I know I'm going to kill the guy, but it is an option, which is nice. Okay, that's about it for the build. Let's go over the food I'm using and the potions I use in the build. Okay, so the food I use is called Lava Foot Soup and Saltrus. It's giving me about 4,500 stamina, a little more, and 457 recovery. There's no hit points on this because of your heavy armor and your 5-piece Green Pact, which uses that food. It gives you an extra 2,500 health plus recovery. So that food's nice. You could go Tri-Stat and your health will be over 30-some K. But you're going to lose a crap ton of resources, and you're going to find that you're heavy attacking way too much to try to keep them up in Werewolf. But it is viable if you're better at resource management than I am. Okay, and then the potions I use are a mix between Stamina, Major Expedition, and Knockback Immunity, which is Essence of Immovability, and also Major Expedition and Lingering Health. I kind of swap between those two depending on what my resources look like. And that's about it to the build. So I'm going to jump in some non-CP battlegrounds and see how this does solo. If I do happen to get healers, it's so much better, but if I don't, you still are very, very competitive. Okay? That's it, guys, and I'll catch you next time on the battlefield. I hope you enjoy this build. Have a good one. Okay, testing out my Green Pact Prisoners build. The Prisoners Pact is what we call it. So it looks like we got some higher level guys. Let's see if we're going against the pre-made again. We are not. Thank God. Oh yeah, we are. Are we? Looks like we might be, but we'll see. So I'm running 5 heavy, 1 light, 1 medium, and this is my Stamsorc Werewolf that we went over. Green Pact and Prisoners build. All heavy Green Pact, Prisoners rings and weapons, mainly for Werewolf. And we'll see how we do. This isn't exactly the match for Werewolf, Crazy King, but it's a very tanky build, and we'll see how we do. I've been recently going against some pre-mades that had like full healer, very tough to get kills in some death matches, but for the most part, survive very well. Just won't get the kills. I mean, if you have a healer and you can stay on people, you will get kills. Make sure you're tab targeting them. I was finding that if I didn't tab target, my light attacks would not hit near as well. Let me buff up and get my stam up, and then boom. Okay, my whole team died. Whole team. Fucking A, man. It's like, Jesus Christ. Gotta highlight him. He's getting heals. Jesus. I can't take anybody down. They got too many heals on their team. Or dodge rolling everything I do. Gotta highlight where they're shielded up. There we go. Got one. Got a block. Got a roll dodge out of that. Alright. Let's go down here to this one. My werewolf timer's about half. I gotta kind of look at that and make sure we're good. I'm gonna go up here and jump on this guy because I'm gonna fear them off, then run back down. There we go. Come on, why is my light... See, look how the light attacks just miss. Alright, I gotta get out of here, get back to my team. I'll jump. Fear. There we go. I'm gonna eat. Another one. Alright, I gotta get out. Oh. Oh well. What are you gonna do? I think see, I'm losing werewolf timer this whole time that I'm zoning. Luckily, I was full. What the fuck? Why are we all spread out now? You guys are idiots. I'm getting the fuck out of here. I I got a line of sight. I'm gonna turn on this dude now. God, what a jerks. They follow me around the whole map. This is a friggin' Crazy King. And you follow me around the whole map? Seriously? What is your problem? You just let green. And that made me lose Werewolf too. I should have just died sooner. That's just so stupid. So stupid. Why won't it let me? Alright. Going over here. Gonna pop a lingering health speed pots. That's the pots I use. Lingering health and
a momentary setback. They've taken the point.
okay, I'm just gonna sprint back and forth here, gain some magicka.
Unstoppable! We've taken the point!
That has no damage to kill me. There we go. Okay, gonna go werewolf. Ah, yes, yes. Alright, I gotta get out of here. God, these guys are following me all around again. It's like, you gotta be fucking kidding. Okay, I got heals now, bitches. This guy here, I'm gonna kill as soon as I get the chance. He's just gonna keep disappearing though. Alright, let's go over here. Eat this guy quick. I'm gonna go to this other end over here, since everybody's fighting there. I'm gonna...
Unstoppable! We've taken the point! A momentary setback! They've taken the point!
God damn. Could not do any damage to them. All the Dawnbreakers. I didn't even see Dawnbreaker be cast there. Which is crazy, but I didn't. Oh great, green just got 3 because of that. My heavy attacks and light attacks are not hitting at all. It's terrible. I mean, they're just complete nothings. It's really, really wonky. And unfortunately, if they hit properly, it'd be so much better. But they don't. Go down and help this dude out. Okay, let's go down here now. Alright, it's above. It's above, it says. Game over.
We've taken the point!
So I went 10, 3, and 5 because I had a healer. So let's see how. Yep. Yeah, I had 2 little healers here that were healing, so I was able to do 623k damage. If I don't have a healer in the group, I can survive a while, but I don't get near as many kills. But that's kind of par for the course. If you're going to do Battlegrounds now, having a healer is almost a must if you want to compete. But the build alone, solo, is very tanky, very easy to stay alive and get around.